Hello Thelma.
Hello James.
Thanks for coming on today. Now we did a past life regression with you some time back, didn't we?
December 2009.
Well, okay, quite a while back. And it sort of developed into something else, didn't it? It sort of developed into a between life regression. So, can you remember the original issue that you came to me
I came
about?
to you about my relationship with my sister.
Okay.
And it was resolved
Okay.
in the regression.
Okay.
So much came out
Okay.
that made sense. And when I played the CD back to her, she was so upset. She was so upset, but it resolved many things. It didn't happen instantly, but every single thing that I came to you with has completely resolved.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
To something that's, to a relationship that is perfect.
Okay.
Very, very good.
Interesting,
indeed.
interesting. And was that something that happened over a period of time, or?
It was from 2001, ongoing before then actually,
Yeah.
from 1993, but the drama, an actual drama, propelled it to a very difficult situation from 2000.
Okay.
And then it was only by seeing you that it was resolved in my mind. Took a little bit of work to try and sort of
Sure.
unlearn the habits that we'd had for the last
Okay.
19 or so years, you know, sort of treating each other
Yeah.
or using excuses on certain things.
Okay.
But it was, yeah,
Okay.
thanks to you.
Okay.
Deeply grateful.
What was it? What was it particularly? Why past life regression? Why did you decide to explore this?
Because of my
Past life
interest in metaphysics
Mhm.
and quantum physics, I truly believe that something from my past is still interfering, possibly, in my present life. And for me it seemed the instant answer to what a lot of my problems might be.
Okay.
And it did. I truly believe that that was the way to get to the root of it.
Okay.
I don't think therapy would have helped. I don't think a lot of other methods or any other therapies would have helped. But I believe that this would, and it did.
Okay. Now, from what I remember of the session itself, it was quite an extraordinary session, wasn't it? So, do you want to tell us something about it?
Yeah,
the
I had
session itself.
8 past lives and 1 in between, and it was so incredible I was completely aware of who I was, where I was, who you were, what your name was. I knew that exactly what was happening, but I was seeing, it was like seeing a separate movie.
Okay.
And I was seeing the pictures, it wasn't just in my head. And it was emotional, it was exciting, it was funny, it was all the different things, but what I realised was that my personality was in all those people.
Okay.
But the most magical one was the in-between life. Seeing what I believe is God. That was remarkable.
Yeah, it was quite a powerful experience. I mean, the energy in that room at the time was quite overwhelming. I think for both of us, actually.
I do recall you saying that at that point, you know, when we finished, that in-between life, it was so extraordinary, you wanted to jump in with me. It really was.
Well, I did feel like I was there, in a sense. Yeah.
And people who've heard the recording they've all enjoyed it, but some people have wept, some people have laughed. You know, they've seen the humour in certain parts of my personality, but they've also cried very much, especially at the in-between life.
Yeah.
The more spiritual people who've heard it absolutely have been in floods of tears.
Really? Wow. And I remember at that point as well, from that in-between life place, you were able to explore multiple lives, multiple past lives from that point. Any of those particularly profound? Or?
Well, the one of the First World War, yes, because I did know that. I knew that before we had our session. But that was really very emotional. The one life that I found since then that has really had an effect on me is any time I see anything about Japan or Hiroshima,
Yeah.
I burst into floods of tears. And yesterday I was reading a book about a little girl who had been picked up by one of the first US military that went in,
Yeah.
and tried to adopt her. She was very, very ill, and she died at 2. I mean, she was a babe in arms. And I was absolutely weeping buckets. And so I think that maybe the life that we had, where I'm in a situation where everything is burning, everything's black, there's nothing left, there's absolute devastation, and I'm bewildered. I think that might have been Hiroshima. I'm not sure. I can't. There's nothing I have to go by it, but it's the feeling that I have about Japan, the tears that want to come. Even just now, I'm just talking about it, and it's threatening to spill over. So I don't know. I really can't tell.
I mean, obviously, during the regression itself, there were certain traumas that you were experiencing, and I think for a lot of people that are curious about past life regression, there's a lot of fear about the trauma that they might experience. You know, if you're going through, you know, a traumatic death, for instance, in a past life experience, for a lot of people, that's a scary thing. But in my experience of those traumas during past life regression, they're not the same, are they? They're not the same as you really experience it in everyday life. Would you like to say something about that? About what those things are like, what those traumas are like in a regression?
The traumas that I went through with you were, it's like it's starting, it's happened, it's over. That's the only way I can describe it. So the emotion that I'm feeling, but it didn't have the pain that we experience in this life. You know, like when somebody dies, or because there was a recurring pattern in a lot of my past lives where the love of my life was lost. And although it was so emotional, and it still is, you know, every time I hear it, I still have exactly the same emotion of wanting to weep. But it didn't feel painful in the regression.
Okay.
It was matter of fact. I really can't explain. Although you can hear me crying, I very, very quickly recover and say, right, we've got to get on. We've got to get on with the living, and that's what so. No, I can't say that it was traumatic or painful or anything. It was the most exciting thing I've done in my life, and I've done a few exciting things, I can assure you. And the one thing, though, that was dramatic about this, before I got home, and it was only a 12-minute drive from your surgery to my home, to my house, I had the most extraordinary rush of histamine. I had hives. It was so bad, I was almost hospitalised. And I'm saying this for the benefit of the camera. My cat, who is highly, highly sensitive, tore the whole of the side of her hair out. And I believe it was, I don't know, in sympathy or something. She's never done anything like that. She had this absolute bald patch all the way about that wide and that long. I had to take her to the vet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the vet could find absolutely nothing wrong with her. There was no skin issue, there was nothing. And
so this was in response
to me,
to what you were experiencing?
I think so. I can only... nothing's ever happened since.
So that was quite a strong reaction in you, physical reaction.
I understood it because it was almost like I don't know. It was spiritual, and I couldn't tell my doctor why I thought it happened because, well, he probably sectioned me. I don't know.
How long did that last?
2 weeks. It was awful. I mean, but understanding aspects of Kundalini, understanding various aspects of spirituality and past life regression, I was rather pleased that it happened because I wasn't in danger. It was very uncomfortable and very unsightly, but I wasn't in danger, and I felt it was part of the process, almost like a catharsis, if you like.
Yeah. Sometimes this does happen. It's something's being released.
Looking for the symbols
happens,
and the metaphors. To me, having something that was so irritating and so upsetting, you know, like a skin condition, sort of all the metaphors that you would use for that.
Yeah.
It was getting on my nerves. I was burning with with anger, with pain, with itching, everything was, and all the symbols were there. It was almost like I was releasing so
Exactly.
much.
Yeah.
And having analysed it, because I analysed it a lot, and I'd like to come back and analyse it in depth with you, because I think it's so valuable for people who are wanting to find answers or meaning to their lives. I think it's very valuable.
So after that incident, what happened after that?
What the
Yeah, since that physical.
Big changes in terms of how I interrelate with people. Big changes in terms of my values, even was adjusted. I'm still the same person, but I'm better than I was, if that makes sense. It was things that would irritate me and annoy me no longer did. People that did the same that no longer did. And I think I opened more doors to let different experiences into my life.
Okay.
I found that I wanted to be around conventional religion more.
Okay.
And I went on retreat to a convent,
Oh, really?
a silent retreat, which was amazing, absolutely wonderful. I did notice one thing, however, is that I'm very intolerant of the psycho-spiritual brigade, you know, the mind, body and spirit, who are sort of up there, ladies who lunch, and I find myself not able to sit through an average lecture. It's got beyond that now. So
Okay.
I'm grateful to you for that as well.
So that was a change too.
It was huge, because I was finding, although there were very few that were walking side by side with me in terms of learning, because a lot of them were fairly new, I was trying to find a new teacher, if you like, and I found that it was just so mundane and so pedestrian and a little bit suspect. You know, dare I say, this is confidential, but
all over.
but thanks to you, I've actually found a deeper spiritual meaning, which is so powerful and so important, and it's propelled me into serious attendance of lectures of metaphysics and quantum physics. All down to you, my dear.
Okay, well, it's all down to you, really.
Well,
with
your help. You turned the key to that door, and I'm grateful. You're very good.
Any final words to anyone that's interested or curious about past life regression, life between lives, or hypnosis
Anybody
in
who
general?
is already interested in that would be wise to come to you, because if they are already interested, it will open a cornucopia for them, because they're obviously serious about investigating certain aspects of their present and past lives. So I could only recommend a visit to you, because it would change their lives, all being well, because anyone who's willing to be that open and that transparent, obviously, is going to accept a lot of what arises from a session with you. So I feel that it would be good.
Okay.
Valuable is the word.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For spending the time today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.